Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're celebrating a Massacre Monday here. We have all Witchers. We're just going to name this all Witchers in Skellige. But we got like all the Skellige Witchers. We've added in Ciri Dash. We've got Arnagod. We've got Jordan. We've got Vesemir Mentor. We've got the trio. We've got Gerd, Leo. And then also using Trial of the Grasses for awesome value onto these armor ups. Or if you're playing a V deck, you could play it correctly and reset the power of the Karen on the melee row, and then deal damage with, or not damage, but then do the reset to the other row with Jordan. But you know, we can't all be geniuses. I've also added in trophy catches here. These are mostly texts for V decks. You know, the whole meta is shifted around V right now, whether we want to admit it or not. That's what's happened. The true game-breaking bug, if you want my opinion, which you probably don't, but there you go. All right, let's jump into some gameplay, show you how this runs. Basically, you're going for a round with like pure Swarm, and then you'll use Vesemir to boost all those, Leo to get out there, boost himself. You can just get crazy good value from it. And then you can use Gwent both for Arnagod or for Ciri Dash, just kind of depending how you like to play it. Arnagod can be really fun against Lippy decks in like a really short round 3 because you can just prevent all value for them. So just something to keep in mind. So here we do want to protract this round out as long as possible. I want to get as much Swarm as I can. Trophy catches can be useful on dragging stuff from ranged to melee, but mostly just for a bit of value, not much more than that. This is going to be a longer round, I'm hoping. I'd like to have armor up though. So let's see what we can get. We don't get it. So armor up is this raid. You damage an enemy unit by 2 and then you spawn 3 1-point Witcher students on your rows. So that can be really helpful for just getting good value. But not all of us can be geniuses. So I like Bear Witcher Quartermaster here. He's just good slow play, gets you a couple of Witcher students out. Not really a lot of stress with him. And then Gerd does need to be played relatively early. I mean, if you want to get maximum value from him, he plays well against the Lippy Flip deck as well. This Brokevar Hunter is a little weird. I think I would have used that just to get value on this Bear Witcher Quartermaster. But the opponent probably also knows that we can be a little patient here. Okay, so now the other thing to think about is like units that can get value back. So this is why we have Bear Witcher Adept. We do only run one. I do value both these trophy catches for those V matchups. But here we missed a lot of our consistency cards with Mutation and Quinn. So just being a little patient here. We're going to do something a little weird, and we're going to play Berengar. And then we're going to damage Berengar twice to get these 2 Witcher students out. Just really gives us some good value for the Vesemir Mentor play, but it also protects Berengar and erases some of the value that he had kind of stacked up all onto himself, and it spreads us out with 3 Witchers on this row to give us some more value there. Now here we're basically playing down to Adrenaline 4s with all these cards. It's not a position I like to be in. I'd rather have a little bit more flexibility otherwise. So this Blue Boy Lugos play is pretty standard. Fair. The opponent here are going to use several charges. I expect 1 more charge here and then 2 to be saved for Saris later on. So we have a couple of things that you can do with this deck. We can actually use Battle Trance onto Ciri Dash to get us really good value in the drawn card. I'm thinking about using that here. You can also use it onto Arnagod in a later round. But remember that it is an alchemy card. It's going to give you boost, and then it's also going to heal a unit as well. So here I'm actually looking to kind of just cement this card advantage. We'll use Siri Dash here. Get some good points. I think Heat Wave would be the biggest thing I'm concerned about. The tough thing about Heat Wave with Lippy decks is when it's played round 1, it comes back again round 3 almost every time. So, but I'm not seeing a Ceres here, so I think even if there was no Neuromancy, the opponent's going to be a little bit circumspect about playing that prematurely. Vesemir Mentor is the Adrenaline 5 play, so we need just one card to kind of bridge the gap there. Bear Witcher Mentor here just plays for 6 points. That's probably enough for us just to get another Witcher out. But Gerd looking very nice with this Ceres on crate play. But we do have one more turn to play. Gerd. Actually, 2 more turns rather. So we're just going to go for Bear Witcher Mentor. Strength matters not if you lack the skills of the weak. See if he commits anything else to melee row, and then we can get after it with Gerd. Gerd plays nominally for 7 points because he spawns this 1-point Harpy. If the row's full, obviously the Harpy won't spawn, so he'd play for 8 points. And then he'll also deal damage if it's early enough. So here comes the Heat Wave. It's just unfortunate truth of what's occurring in this match. But now we're to the point where we can play Eskel, Lambert, and Vesemir for a thinning play, and then boost them all with Mentor, so really good value for us. And everybody comes out pre-boosted as well. So we have these Bear Witchers that are just going to play for 5 points, but then get that extra boost from Vesemir Mentor for an additional point. So they'll play for 6 points. But Eskel, Vesemir, Lambert all play really well here. And we're going to play these in melee just to protect this Berengar. And Vesemir Mentor here boosting now 7 units. So there's not enough to close this up in one move. But if the opponent commits 1 more card, which they do, then Leo starts looking really good for us as well. Now Leo playing for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points. Which is just enough to get us to tie. Unfortunately. So now we're kind of playing the odds here. Oh, it was an extra point. Sorry, because of himself. So just enough. Next time I'll be sure to do my math. So we do carry first round, which is really valuable here. And so now what we're going to try to do is just play out all the cards, force the opponent to play out all of their cards until we have only 1 left in hand. And then what we're going to be able to do is use Geralt Quinn onto Arnagod and just prevent the opponent from playing anything. He still will be able to like discard cards onto the board, so we will need some value. Trophy Catch probably isn't that for us. But Trial of the Grasses works really well with Geralt Quinn. It's a 9-point play. It's also decent removal. And I don't really care about having double Bear Witchers here. So we don't have anything we can damage yet, so Armor Up's not looking super great, but we can play Herrn Kaduk. And here I think we'll just take a Bear Witcher Adept, or a Quartermaster would work well. So Quartermaster plays for 4 + 2 + 2. So he plays for 8 points. Bear Witcher Adept only plays for 7. So we're just going to take Bear Witcher Quartermaster here. The opponent might play some kind of removal. That's fine. We can be patient. Banner Brown that works really well for us. She's going to feed us a few units. And we might go down a card here, and that's usually not good against Lippy decks just because they have so much tutor value. And they have so much tempo play as well. So Lippy decks are a little bit difficult to deal with if we're being honest with ourselves. But the Arnagod value with Geralt Quinn is pretty immense. One card we probably don't want now is Selective Mutation, since Yrden is not all that helpful against Lippy. Here we're going to go ahead and go for Bear Witcher.
Double the coin, consider it.
And we'll ping that once so we can get the heal. Should have gone for Berna actually here. That way we could spawn these others to melee. Not sure what he's going to go for here. Vesemir Mentor makes sense. I guess some people might play it with Renew. We're just going to go for Armor Up here. Gets us a few more. Ping that. Lippy plays for nominally 9 points if you play the Lippy and you have the Morkvargan deck. Lacerate's annoying, but not typically seen in these decks. But gives us some value to Heron Kaduk here, actually. Now, one thing I could do here, that I'm actually really tempted to do, is to play Arnagod this round. Then we can set his value if he takes damage here. You know, in fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. Why not 2-0 a Lippy deck? So now Arnagod gets a shield. So the first unit comes down, he's going to do 8 damage to. And then he's going to have 7 armor. So we're going to slap a couple of units the opponent drops here. Hey, Crywalks, thanks for joining. Things are going pretty well, man. Yeah, looking to sell my old place. This sucks. That sucks. But you can only use it once. I did it again. Okay, so don't do what I just did. You want to trigger Heron Kaduk first, and then use the alchemy onto the Witcher student. That way, you're healing the other injured units to get max on value. So the opponent still does have to play this last card, and they do have a massive deck. We're probably gonna lose to draws here, if we're being honest. Curse of Corruption and Tris Telekinesis, Lacerate. This isn't, man, this is, if you ever wanted proof that there are too many, that you can squish too many cards into a Lippy deck, that was it right there. I mean, just crazy amount of value this person's able to squeeze into this deck. Alright, I don't think Trophy Catch is going to be super useful here. Put that back. Bear Witcher plays pretty well. Armor Up plays pretty well. And then Bear Witcher Mentor is a decent finisher for us. It's not great. We're not going to get great value here. I think the best hope we had was that he missed 1 or 2 of his draws that round. The opponent looking for stuff with the Scald there. Armor Up is quite a fun raid card. You do get the 2 damage. The opponent draws into Ceres on crate. Out of a 13 card deck, the opponent gets the one card they're looking for and misses and doesn't break into a single one of these Drum and Shield Maidens. So, not the best for us, if we're being honest. Let's go for this Bear Abomination. He could have Curse of Corruption or Heat Wave. But yeah, I was just thinking Curse of Corruption. I should have gone after this Ceres. Not all of us can be geniuses. We could have kept the 6 and he could have lost his own card and we could have won that game had I just played that correctly. It's like a 50-50 chance and whether or not it killed mine or his. Bad luck. Alright. Jump into another game. Bad luck. Gwent is all about skill and not about luck. I mean, look, the game is really very strongly based on statistics and odds, right? But I mean, like the guy got all his draws, and we didn't have a lot to draw into anyway, so I can't complain all that much. All right, we just want to make sure we don't break here. We'll use selective mutation to get Geralt Quinn. Since we already have Siri Dash, we're gonna put Arnagod back. This is much more of the kind of the first round we're looking for. Quartermasters, Vesemir Mentor, Vesemir, and then we're just going to kind of look for Leo here. Berenger works. I don't want to break into one of the other two, so we're just going to kind of let this sit. And then we're just going to drop Siri Dash here right away. Boost her up to 10 so she can't get removed by garbage. You know, Libby's hard to fight against. They have so much removal and they get to use it twice. Yep. Not a ton you can do about that if you're being honest. So we'll go for Quartermaster here and we'll put one on each row. Get some value. Selective mutation is going to get us 2 more Witcher students. He gets the Zeal here, so he opts for it. Makes sense. We're going to start going after this Brugfar Hunter twice. Only problem is we're going to run out of room with this Quartermaster, but there's something to keep in mind. I think we'll see this Brugfar Hunter start to ping off these one value students. Predictability. Vesemir Mentor plays at 5, but I'd like to get this Quartermaster out. I'd like to get this Selective Mutation out first. We have time. I don't like the Blue Boy Lugos play here. I don't think it's good value. You have really good odds of hitting 1 power units. I don't think it makes much sense. But everybody gets to make choices. So something I could do here is actually play Yrden defensively, which actually weirdly makes a lot of sense here. So let's go ahead and do it. Preserves this one Witcher student. And gets me, so that gets me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then an additional 7th point because this would have disappeared of value from Vesemir Mentor. So pretty good. We are on blue coins, so we do have to think about going ahead in terms of value. I hate to do this. But we do need to stay ahead. Do get Berenger here as a 10-point play. For only 6 provisions, so really good value out of him. And really, really easy, as you can see here, really easy to defend his value with all of these Witcher students. So I think actually Berenger, you see him a lot in the Northern Realms deck, so I think he makes even more sense here. The opponent's kind of playing into our hands at this point. This is a lot of tempo value, it's true. But it's also really good thinning play, right? So we get 2 cards out from our deck. We put on the pressure onto the opponent. And we can kind of dictate round 2 on our terms. Mutation works well in these circumstances where you're ahead. You don't want to let it slip away. And you still have decent cards in hand because you can go ahead and play Selective Mutation. That gets you 4 points of value, which isn't really great. So here we're going to keep it. We'll use it next round. Works really well for us. And this time we'll keep Curse of Corruption in mind. We'll boost up another card. But here Berenger serves as kind of like the meat shield for the Quinn onto Arnagod play. And in terms of Adrenaline, we'd be drawing into like a Bear Witcher here with this Select Mutation. So I promise you do need it for consistency, but it's not doing a lot of good for us this game. We'll put Bear Witcher Mentor back because we might draw another one. Okay, so here now we'll just lead out with Bear Witcher Quartermaster. You can kind of just sit here. And then he's basically here to get some value onto this Berenger. And then Geralt Quinn is going to play Arnagod at 8. So Garrett is also going to give some value there. Then we need Quinn is going to play down as the 4th card played. And Arnagod is going to play. He starts at Adrenaline 4, so you could play him earlier if you wanted. But I do really think the shield is just so valuable with him. This is interesting. So the opponent doesn't have Morkvarg. He loses Snowdrop, Heron Kaduk, and Berna. So tons of tempo value that he loses. I think he's just trying to stay ahead in terms of points. Sadly here for Gerd, he's not going to do us a lot of good. We played him 1 turn too late, but it wasn't going to make much of a difference anyway. And we can kind of hold this Quartermaster or play it. Since we have Berenger, we're going to go ahead and play it. Curse of Corruption now is targeting a 7-point unit instead of a 9-point unit, so that's better for us. And we can go for Berenger, Mentor, and Leo here. And just hold Quinn and play Quinn out of the gate with Arnagod. Since the Lippy was already played, the typical tempo value is gone. Oneiromancy is played with Doomed. So now it's totally gone. The opponent can't use it again. And then we just need to keep Battle Trance in mind. I think it works really well onto Arnagod late play. So at this point, I'm genuinely tempted to play the Arnagod. I just have so much value. The opponent has not been able to contest. They're bricking into a Morkvarg. You know, it's looking really good right now. The only problem I'd say with Arnagod at this point is he's not getting that much value in armor. We can boost him up. He only gets 2 armor, but he's not our biggest card. The opponent's already played the Heat Wave. They haven't drawn into it, so they're going to have to use another card to try to draw it. Oneiromancy was already used. The opponent really up against the rocks here. And then thinking about our Bear Witcher mentor, you know, he plays really well with other Bear Witchers, adepts before they're able to heal back up, and then also with our armor up raids that we've already used. So don't really feel a strong commitment to him in general. We can go ahead and get rid of him, but here Leo is looking really nice. And then we can use Battle Trance onto Geralt Quinn. That's going to get Geralt Quinn has that shield. So he's going to get some value that way. It's a bit of a weird play from the opponent there. So I like this. Arnagod's already damaged, so we're going to go for Bear Witcher Mentor. Get some value here. We'll go ahead for Battle Trance. It's going to heal up one of these 2 units. We get Arnagod to 11. So Curse of Corruption would find the Arnagod at this point. It'd be unfortunate. Loss of value, but it's not the end of our day. But the opponent really needs some massive tempo here. Ceres is just not accessible. This Igni kill onto Arnagod, it's just not enough for the opponent. I think they recognize that. So yeah, I think the other opponent, I think Curse of Corruption is a little bit more flexible than Igni in terms of timing. You have to wait for all the value to go to a certain row. Pretty fun to get these Skellige mirror matches against Lippy, and like you guys saw, that first game, the opponent would have had to throw away that Curse of Corruption or just roll the dice. They would have been ahead in points, so I kind of think they would have just thrown it away and we would have won that game. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Okay. Guerilla Tactics could actually be an interesting matchup. We could actually run into some problems with it. The one thing I will say is that Arnagod can play before Gezrus plays. So just something to keep in mind with him. So mutation I usually use for Vesemir Mentor. If I already have Vesemir Mentor, then I'm looking for the Geralt. Trophy Catch is actually kind of helpful against Skellige, so we're going to keep that. I'm going to put away this Bear Witcher for now. So we'll play this selective mutation. Just go ahead and grab Geralt Quinn. Hawker Smuggler is just stupid good luck. I mean, to get a 6 provision bronze off of a runestone is just good, just generally fantastic luck. But then to get Hawker Smuggler of all of them as the first card played is kind of broken. Man, respect. Gotta respect the skill. Yep, here we're going for Quinn. Just gives us more flexibility. And we're gonna go ahead and put back. We're gonna go ahead and put back Bear Witcher Adept. Like decent value, but we don't need him all that much.
This is Elwyn Landdwar, upon which your kind dies.
Not a bad play. The opponent gets good value there.
Go ahead, stare at me stupid and see what happens.
Stare at me stump again and see what happens. Such a sad guy. Oh, hey, Kieran. Kieran's a great play. a little weird. But everybody's allowed to make weird plays now and again, right? I'd like to get some more Witchers onto this row. The movement makes it kind of difficult with Berengar, if we're being honest. But I think what I'm going to do here is just prevent this value. Does 3 damage, moves it off of melee. Either forces the opponent to use some kind of row movement, which gets it away from the brigade. Might use some leader abilities here. Now I could use Trial of Grasses to go ahead and remove it. But at best, this is 11 points of value. So it's just as valuable to me onto a Witcher student. I'd rather have that for later in the game, although the hand boost is very helpful to the opponent. Here, Garrett needs to come out as the next card. We're going to go ahead and get him started in ranged row. We are on red coin here, so you know we have time. We can be flexible. Okay, Vesemir Mentor makes sense for me here. He's gonna get this boost. I don't have to worry about him taking up space later, and we can get Eskel out. I'm gonna be right back. I do like this Cat Witcher play. Makes a lot of sense. It's good value for the opponent. Now they start to get pinched in terms of points and value. We have seen duplicates, so this isn't going to be like a Rodea scenario deck. So Berengar is still just enough points for us.
No, oh no. You can't just sacrifice it.
Although it's a tie here, right? Doesn't really matter. We're on red coin here, so we got flexibility. I don't think that was a smart choice at all, personally. So this gets me just not enough points, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and use Geralt Quinn here. I know it's a lot, and a lot of people are gonna be really concerned. Oh, why are you doing Arnagod? Well, Yurden's better. And if this kit guarantees me like a long round 3, all the better for me. Perfect. We get the win without even on evens. This is excellent for us. Let's go for a quartermaster, see if we can draw into like an armor up. Heron Caduceus could work. Now the opponent could jerk around Siri Dash here with leader ability 3 times normally, but they only have 2. But it still could feed into a big play. So I'm actually just gonna drop Siri here so I can play everything but 1 card. We get her boosted up to 12. One annoying thing, you can't use the offensive capabilities of Trial of the Grasses against enemy Witchers. Just something to keep in mind.
Take care of your babes and they'll take care of you.
So here we can use Heron Caduceus to give us another Bear Witcher Quartermaster. And that's going to give us a lot of value with Leo. We did feed this Cat Witcher unnecessarily. We should have just played Deranged. But not all of us can be geniuses.
I'd lend you a hand, but then I'd have none.
I'd lend you a hand, but then I'd have none. And this guy has like the wittiest line. I mean, Skellige just has the best. Who nicked my mushrooms again? This is good value, but it's also like their good engine value, right? So. This gets me the play I want here too, because now I can go like this.
Its sticks spin around and smash you. You're not fast enough. The windmill will hit you hard. You've got to dodge. You've got to have them.
My mentor's recipe says that the apples like so.
Probably should have saved that, then I could go for Bear Witcher. But now I get last say. I'm up by 14 points. You know, things are working out pretty well for me right now. So here, Trial of the Grasses doesn't heal anybody though, so I'm gonna play Bear Witcher first, even though this is just gonna hit some armor. It's just a warm body that can take that boost from this heal. And I get last say, so I really thought I was going to lose Siri Dash, but preserving Siri Dash this round makes it so I get to decide if I want to just keep a card up and have double last say, or if I can just end the game. And the opponent loses here no matter what after we play here, so... then they would lose on this even anyway, but we'll just take this and we'll just boost up this Quartermaster to 12. Then we get that heal on Bear Witcher as I talked about. And I'm not gonna lie, kind of just made this deck on the fly. Been moving, been busy with work, but I really appreciate all your guys' support. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. For those of you on YouTube, for those of you on Twitch, hang around. And for those of you on YouTube, come join Twitch. It's a fun time. We have good times with each other. But until next time, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking about playing, and try to have some fun in Gwent. I know it's something we've forgotten about with V and the thoughtlessness of play that's happened with that. But have some fun. And until next time, good luck on the path. Get out there. Keep on Gwenting. Bye for now.